Coach, how do you evaluate your room so far with it being such a limited amount so far in the spring?
Encouraged, yeah, no, excited about them. They've done some good things. I think the fact that every day they get better is exciting. They're a group that they want to learn, and they want to be challenged, and I'm pushing them. And I see something new from everybody every day. We got a 1% goal every day for each person, and they're doing a good job of trying to attack that. I think if we can continue to do that, through spring, through summer, through fall camp, they'll be a pretty salty group.
So, who's shown the biggest growth so far from when from the fall to today?
I don't know about from the fall, but new guys who's shown the most growth is Amir Matthews. I mean, he is really taken off. He's kind of his understanding of what we want to get done, what I want to get done in the room, and how we want to play. Just bringing toughness to the game, being able to tackle, making plays on the ball, but understanding the defense and then executing within the defense. I think he's grown the most. But there's a lot of guys right behind him. Dante Balfour. Bryce has done a tremendous job. I leave him out a lot because he's just steady Eddie over there, but all of them have done a really good job.
So, from your room, who is the one who gives the biggest crack? That smile that on a coach's face when they get the best tackle.
So far, it's been Bryce. Bryce has some good tackles on Saturday. He's throwing it in there. Triggering when he's supposed to. Triggering on screens, coming up in the run game with running backs. So I was really happy to see that. And then we had some other guys make some plays, make some tackles. Amir made a couple of good tackles. I think Mohorn had a couple of good tackles. And then Macho out of nowhere, he put some stuff on tape that is extremely encouraging. So I'm happy for him, because it's good to see yourself doing it in a live competition. We got a lot of good things to build on from Saturday.
So, for the Red Raiders to be successful this year, what does your room have to do?
We talk about it all the time. You got to eliminate explosive at our position, right? And you got to tackle at a high level, right? Because you're going to be put in those one-on-one situations. You got to tackle at a high level, eliminate explosives, and you got to take the ball away, right? That's part of our job. If we can do those three things at a high level, we're going to be pretty darn good this year.
I know that you recruited Bryce out of high school, but I'm just curious, when you keep tabs on a player for that long and then you get them at this level where they've already progressed into so much, how much does that benefit you of maybe not having to coach him as much, but just more like refining some stuff?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of familiarity between he and I. I coached him his freshman year. Mm-hmm. He played quite a bit for me his freshman year at Mississippi State, and everything's familiar to him with what we do. So it's, he's a little bit ahead of everybody else. So he'll go first in line to kind of show them. I got a lot of his clips on our teach tapes when I'm trying to show my guys, what we want. So there's some familiarity there. It's kind of helped the transition for sure. And helps him explain it to the other guys. So it's not me always talking to the guys and showing them how to do it. He can actually communicate it to them. So, it's been really good.
So do you promote peer coaching a lot? Is that one of your coaching styles?
Absolutely. That tells me what I am coaching you on, right? So if you can coach someone else up, it means I've done a good job with you. And also, it's good to hear other voices, right? The kids get tired of hearing my voice, right? Because sometimes it's loud and it's angry. So hearing it from someone else, it may come off better, and it may trigger something in them that allows them to grasp it.
And then I'm just curious, how did you get into coaching? I know from player to UNT, what was that process like? Was there anybody that kind of encouraged you in that direction?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. And when I was thinking about getting into coaching and what level of coaching I wanted to get into, former coaches in the NFL, former college coaches, I reached out to a ton of folks. And, what they said is kind of go with your passion. I didn't know if I wanted to do high school, if I wanted to do college, or I wanted to stay in the NFL. And I did a little bit of high school. My cousin coaches in Arlington, so I went and helped him with spring ball. I did that. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. And then when Seth got the job at North Texas, he gave me an opportunity to come over there, and then I fell in love with that. And it just kind of took off from there. So I think any level that I would have ended up on, I would have enjoyed. But I'm glad I ended up here and on this level because, I mean, it's a ton of fun.
And
Nothing
then
like
I'm-
Saturdays.
And then I'm just curious, are you comfortable with all the weights in your room, or do you want anybody fluctuating more or less?
No, our strength staff's done a fantastic job. Our guys are about where we want them to be. You know, you're always refining and working on body composition and stuff like that. But weight wise, I think they're in a good spot right now.
Coach, matching up with guys in practice or in scrimmages like Reggie and CD, how would you say that's prepared your room for the play that you'll have when the season comes around?
Yeah, no, I told my guys this after the first football school. I told them we have the best two outside receivers, the combination of outside receivers I've ever been around as a coach, and we got to take advantage of that because we're going to play the best every day in practice. It's going to make us better, and we're going to be ready. We're going to be even more ready for the game. So, I love CD and Reggie, man, and I'm always picking with them. I'm always on their tail because those two are going to be special for us.
With the competition in the cornerback room now, with all of the additions with the transfer portal,
Yeah.
some of these guys like Mo Horn, Macho Stevenson, these guys, how has that competition been for those guys' characters moving forward and taking their games to the next level?
Yeah, they've done a good job. That's what we designed it to do, is to create competition so that you can get the best out of yourself. That's what it's about, and they've handled it well. Like I said, those guys made some plays on Saturday. They've been making plays in every practice. Nobody shied away from getting out there and showing what they can do. It's made everybody a little bit more locked in. Meetings are pretty intense. Everybody's fighting for a seat at the front row, right? Everybody's taking notes. We're getting practice. Everybody wants to go first. But when they get their opportunity, they're trying to make the most of it. And that's what it's supposed to be. And they've done a good job of responding.
Darcel, I've heard Amir Boyd's name a couple times now early on. What is it that's enabled him to kind of, what qualities does he have that are kind of showing through that's enabled him to catch y'all's eyes?
Elite quickness and instincts. I mean, he does. He has that, and he's bigger than you thought. He's bigger than I thought he was when he got here. He's gained like 10 to 12 pounds already. He's getting stronger by the day. But his instincts and how to get to the ball and how to make plays on the ball, but getting his body in the right position, and then his transition skills are elite. So, I'm fired up to see where he's going to be, 4 months from now, because the little time that I've had with him, he's gotten so much better so quickly.
And I know y'all don't make these decisions necessarily in March, but are there, a lot of these guys are pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody in your room that you'll kind of look at that could be a slot corner, like a nickel type corner who has that kind of skill set?
Yeah, no, there's a couple guys in my room I think can do it. Just from the neck up, they're smart. They could play multiple positions, but also they have the skill set to do it. If I was picking guys, it'd be Bryce, it'd be Amir. I think you could give Mo Horn a chance in there in certain situations because he could be a good cover guy for us. It's all dependent on the situation and what we want to do with him, but I think we got plenty of options for sure.
I think you kind of touched on a moment ago with what Sean asked when he asked about who cracks. Who's the consistently most physical guy, maybe who can jam receivers or tackles best or just plays the most physical style?
Bryce. Bryce is the most consistently physical guy. But what's encouraging is everyone else has kind of stepped their game up in terms of physicality and what we want and how to play at the top of the route, getting your hands on receivers, how to play at the line of scrimmage, how to defeat blocks. There's levels to it. And, right now they're leveling up. They're getting better each and every day because it is a different level that you have to play at this level on the perimeter because receivers are big, they're strong, and you got to get off blocks and you got to be able to tackle.
What about what's Dante look like so far?
Yeah, Dante's been great, man. Dante's been great. He's had his best two practices the last two practices. He's really stepped his game up. I ride Dante hard because Dante That's what that's what he wanted me to do. He told me he wanted me to ride him hard. That's what he came here for. He wanted to be coached hard. So I coach him extremely hard. And I love the kid because he responds every time. You know, he's not a kid who backs down from anything. And what we do in our defense and our style of play, the way I coach it is a lot different than anything he's done. And he hadn't shied away from it. You know, he doesn't make any excuses, and he just gets to work. You'll see him after practice, every practice, getting extra because he wants it that bad. So Dante's going to be a really good football player for us.
When you say you coach it differently than what he's been accustomed to, in what way you're talking about?
Technique-wise. So there's some unique techniques in the way we do things in my room. You know, the way I was taught, a lot of people still teach it that way. I've kind of adjusted it a little bit to give my guys a better shot at, in my opinion, of being successful. Not my opinion, it's fact. I mean, you can check it. We've had a lot of success in my room, in the rooms that I've coached. So him getting adjusted to that and changing over just coaching styles, right? I'm an aggressive coach, right? I'm going to challenge you every day. I'm going to coach you when it's good. I'm going to coach you when it's bad. Right, there is no slaps on the head and great job, move on. No, there's something to learn from a good rep too. So that adjustment for him has been different because you know my guys are all like, man, you never stop coaching. No, there's a process to every rep, right? Whether if it was bad, guess what? We got to look at the rep, figure out what was bad. We got to learn and we got to move on. Same thing with the good rep. What do we do good in the rep? Then we got to learn what we could have done better, and then we got to move on. So every rep is the same.